Hello dear students. Today we are going to see about the process of transpiration. What do you mean by transpiration? Have you observed that the plants is also losing a water in different forms? So plant absorbs the water constantly and continuously. Hardly 5% of the total water absorbed by the root is utilized for the cell expansion and the plant growth. Remaining 95% of the water becomes surplus which is then lost into the atmosphere. Though it is an aerial part, hardly 1% of the surplus water is lost in the form of liquid, and 99% of the surplus water is lost in the form of the vapors. The loss of water is in the form of liquid is known as guttation. So, how the plants loses water? Which is the organ responsible for the loss of the water? The answer is stomata. Stomata is present in the leaves, which is responsible for the loss of the water through the aerial parts of the plant, which is a very important process in the plant. It occurs through a special structure which we call it as the hydrathodes. The loss of the water is in the form of the vapor is known as transpiration. This is the exact definition of transpiration. Transpiration means the loss of water vapor from the plants in the form of vapor that occurs through the leaves, stems, flowers and fruits. These are all the, we can say, the important parts of the plant which is responsible for the process of transpiration. Most of the transpiration occurs through the leaves called as the foliar transpiration. The actual water loss during the transpiration occurs through the three main sites. First is the cuticle which is present on the leaf, stomata which is a small opening on the leaf, and the lenticels. This is also present. According to the three types of the transpirations, they are recognized as the cuticular transpiration, stomatal transpiration and lenticellular transpiration. Let's see in details. Now you can see here the plant structure. The root take up the water from the soil and this water is then transferred. The water is drawn up to the stem. The veins they carry the water and the aerial parts are responsible for the loss of the water. This is the process of transpiration. This figure is very important for drawing. Transpiration, the exact definition of transpiration is, although the large amount of the water absorbed by the plants from the soil but only a small amount of it is utilized, the excess of the water is lost from the aerial parts of the plant in the form of the water vapor. This is called as the transpiration. It is the exact definition of transpiration. We know that the extra water is lost even from the body of human. We are also losing the water in the form of sweats and urination, but in plants they are lost in the form of the vapors. First transpiration is a stomatal transpiration, means most of the transpiration takes place through stomata. Stomatas are usually confined in more number of lower side of the leaf. Stomatas are found generally on the lower surface. In monocot, example grasses, they are equally distributed on both sides, while in the aquatic plant, the floating leaves, they are present on the upper surface. Cuticular transpiration, it's impervious to the water even though the water may be lost through the cuticles, maximum of 10% of total transpiration. What about lenticellular transpiration? Some water may also lost by the woody stems through the lenticels, which is also called as a lenticellular transpiration. So the maximum water is lost in the plants by the stomata. That is almost about 90% of the water loss through stomata. Mechanism of stomatal transpiration. The stomatal transpiration takes place during the daytime, can be studied into the three different processes. First is the osmotic diffusion, which we have seen in our previous lecture. What is osmosis and what is diffusion? It is the loss of the water through the plants with the help of the concentration gradient. The osmosis diffusion of water from the leaf from the xylem into the intracellular spaces above the stomata through the mesophyll cells. Second is the opening and the closing of stomata. It is also very important process. If the stomata is open, the loss of air as well as the water is possible. But if it is closed, it is not possible. But opening and closing also depends upon the structure of the stomata, whether it is a flaccid one or whether it is a turgid one. These two conditions are very important. Simple diffusion of water vapors from intracellular spaces to the other atmosphere through the stomata. Inside the leaf, the mesophyll cells are in contact with xylem, and the other hand, the intercellular spaces above the stomata. Let us see the structure of stomata. This is the structure of stomata. Stomata consist of the guard cells, stomata and accessory cells. You can see here the subsidiary cells are also present. Inside the pore is there, we call that pore as stomatal pore. Guard cells which gets flaccid and turgid, because of that the opening and closing is possible. Nucleus is there in the cell, inner thick wall, subsidiary cells and epidermal cells. At below you can see the figure of open and closing stomata. The first is of the opening of the stomata, where guard cells, stomatal pore and chlorophyll, that is the chloroplast, is present, green color. And in second case the stomatal pore is closed, that is the close of the, or we can say the closed stomata is shown. You can see a stomata is a minute elliptical pores bounded by the two kidney shape, that is a dumbbell shape. We call it as a guard cells. Guard cell is a type of epidermal tissues which may be as modified as epidermal parenchymatic cells or parenchyma cells. They are the kidney shape in dicot and they are dumbbell shape in monocot, that is in the grasses. You have to remember this difference. When we are seeing a dicot leaf, we see a kidney shape stomata, but when we are seeing about a monocot leaf, we get a dumbbell shape stomatal shape. Okay, so dumbbell shape is for the monocots and kidney shape is for the dicots. You can see the difference between the guard cells. This is very important figure. So hope you have understood about the topic transpirations.